Little here back with another video on your screen. I'm here with the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Joe Hendry, I believe, bro. And thank you for coming on the channel. It's a complete honor. How are you feeling today?
Thank you very much, my friend. I'm intrigued by this interview setup before. I've never done an interview like this. You're from the point of view of the interviewer. What was your process?
The process, man, it's been a journey.
Okay.
That it's been a journey.
All right.
I've just been going with the flow, really.
Yeah.
And
all right. Well, I'm intrigued. Let's go.
Chasing the dream. And talk about it. How did you get into pro wrestling, and what made you take that leap?
I had always wanted to do it. I'd watched the wrestling channel in the UK religiously as a teenager, and I'd wanted to do it for so long. Never really pulled the trigger, and I was 24 turning 25, and I just decided, you know what? If I'm going to do it, better do it now. So that's what I did. 2012 going into 2013, I made a New Year's resolution to become a pro wrestler, and it seems to have worked out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know you've been to quite a few different wrestling organizations, and one in particular that you made a name, I feel, and you made that song go live, was in NXT. How do you feel about where you're at from there to now?
Well, 2024 was a whirlwind. It was full of opportunity. And yes, it was an honor to represent TNA Wrestling in NXT. I learned a lot. I trained at the Performance Center full time. I was working with Terry Taylor on a daily basis. I was learning from Shawn Michaels. And to do that and represent TNA on a huge scale and was an honor. And now to see the partnership formalized is very exciting indeed.
Absolutely. So we got two big shows coming up here in San Antonio. What can we all expect? And live tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, that's the key word is live, right? It's it's been 12 years since TNA Impact was live, so this is a huge opportunity, and I think that professional wrestling is at its best when anything can happen, and that's the beauty of live TV, and it really feels like we're in an era where anything can happen, so I'm very excited. I know the fans are excited. We've got the live show on Thursday and the tapings on Friday at the Boeing Center, so I'm very excited to be here in San Antonio.
Absolutely. And walk us through Genesis. How excited was that moment that you finally got your hand raised as a champion?
Yeah, it was pretty special. I was absolutely exhausted. When I'm kind of dialed in, I'm pacing, and in recent months I've started tracking my steps. So I have an idea of how many steps I've done in the day. And to give you an idea, I paced the entire day. And I put my phone down in my bag probably about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and the match itself was at, let's say 10 p.m. or something like that. By 2 p.m. I'd already done like 12,000 steps, so it was like, damn, I must have burned thousands of calories stepping around. So by the end of the match, I was absolutely exhausted, physically and emotionally. And when the bell rang on the 3 count, I just kind of didn't really plan how I was going to react, but I just kind of leaned back, and I just, I did actually, I've never really spoken about this in an interview. I did kind of make a decision about how I was going to react, because my family, some of my family members were there, so it was an emotional moment. But to me, it kind of, in a different company and in a different time, I really thought about, what it was like for Steve Austin to win his first world championship, when he faced Shawn Michaels. And to me, that was like, it was the crowning of something new. It was a big moment, and I wanted it to be a big moment in TNA wrestling. So it wasn't the time to go, my family are here. It was like, no, hand raised, I'm the champion, and I've claimed what's mine. That's what I was going for by holding the belt up like that. And I just leaned back, and I'd already exhausted myself, but I just went, rah, just roared. And the last bit of energy came out of my lungs there. And by the time the show went off air, when I hopped back over the barrier after being with the fans, I was just about ready to pass out.
I completely understand. Training, I'm sure you trained it all your life for this moment. And I'm super excited to see what's next for you. And, what's one moment in history that you would always remember leading up to your career?
Do you mean like a moment from another wrestler that I've watched or an event, or do you mean something in my career?
It could be either way. It could be like the one that you would carry with you before this moment that you had.
Well, which would you like? Would you like something I've observed in wrestling, or do you mean a moment from my career? What would you like?
A moment in your career.
A moment in my career. One moment. That's really hard. There's been so many great moments. I will say at Bound for Glory, there was a moment where they were doing the championship introductions, and when Jen was introducing me, it was like, whoa, there was like a roar in the crowd. And to hear that same roar at Genesis was very reassuring. So that was kind of full circle to feel that it was the fans were ready for it in October, but they were still wanting it just as bad in January at Genesis was, you know, a testament to the work that we've been doing here at TNA Wrestling and everybody that's been helping me along the way. So that was cool.
Absolutely. If you could have one dream match, you know, to set your career up, what would you like to have?
Well, I'll tell you what my dream matches are. My sort of 5 favorite wrestlers are The Rock, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, John Cena, and Ric Flair. Obviously, the Ric Flair match is probably not possible now, but I've wrestled Kurt Angle. You know, I'm doing the Jericho cruise, so you just never know. You know, we're in the same place at the same time. I love to do something there, but you know, you just never know. And so that leaves The Rock and John Cena. And to me, I feel like John Cena is the wrestler that I emulate myself on most. It's his farewell tour, so that's what I'm throwing out there into the universe to try and, I would love that opportunity, and I think it would be amazing for myself and TNA Wrestling to have that matchup.
Absolutely. How would you beat John Cena?
It's a tough one. He's pretty strong, he's pretty crafty, and he's charismatic. I think I'd have to go back to my amateur wrestling and maybe use some of my skills there, because John Cena's pretty strong, he's pretty experienced, so I'd probably have to use some tricks from amateur wrestling days.
Absolutely. It's been an honor. Thank you for coming on the channel. And this has been a whirlwind. You know, a couple weeks ago was the Hardy Boys. Now it's Joe Hendry, the World Tag Team Champion and the Heavyweight Champion, all in 1 month. It's crazy. You know, let everyone know where they can follow you at and follow that journey.
Folks, get your tickets at tnawrestling.com. Like I say, we're live this Thursday in San Antonio at the Boeing Center, and on Friday we've got TNA Impact taping. So you want to be there for both those shows.
Absolutely. You know, it's been Joe Hendry, Carlito, one love.